I'm not sure there was a sport she didn't play. Probably her first real attachment to a sport was soccer. Soccer was first, but she was an incredible snowboarder. Shoot, she played tennis, she played golf.
Played baseball, played basketball, played field hockey.
Field hockey.
You know, we knew at a very early age Morgan was going to be something extraordinary.
All on her own time, she was out practicing. Not in front of anyone, it wasn't for anyone's benefit, it wasn't to prove anything except to herself.
She was literally the gym rat, and I mean, she took it seriously. She did absolutely every rep that was required. In the fall of her sophomore year, that's when she came alive. She had her opportunities, and she just exploded on the field.
She was a really strong Dodger, and the inertia, just like everything she did, it was probably 110%. It was at the end of a practice, and she just wasn't, she didn't give up, she didn't slow down. She didn't slow down until she stepped off the field.
And 10 days before the first game, I mean, it was literally just a practice, and it was just a dodge drill. She's running, plants, cuts, and it sounds like popping up.
She was very good emotionally until probably that fall. So she had started, all this in January, and by staying down there all summer, she's getting a little fatigued come fall. But honestly, that is normal. She's not a robot. She's tired, she's sick of rehabbing, she's sitting on the sidelines keeping score during fall ball.
Remember, she was still at every game in crutches.
And every practice.
You're still at every game and every practice with the team.
Spring of 18, Morgan called and said, I think I want to take a medical leave of absence. Part of the medical leave was her knee, but part of it was for mental health. But I have to be honest with you, we thought it was all physical. We thought the mental problems stemmed from the physical problems, so we were going to tackle the physical problems, and yes, she was required to see counselors once or twice a week, very regularly, which she did. So when the reports came in that the doctors said she was ready, we had to believe that there's plenty of eyes on her, and she seems good. She's gained some weight. She seems engaged with the family. She's been running. She's been coaching. She's been playing. There's a group of college athletes that she grew up with that would do pickup games once a week. She was doing that. She looked ready. She looked ready, and we were excited for her to get back to Duke. So she did.
She was supposed to come home, and she wouldn't answer her phone.
That wasn't abnormal, though. That was common for her to have the ringer off. And she was also infamous for napping 24 hours a day in terms of, she could take a nap at 5 p.m., she could take a nap at noon. I had no idea. And the day just, kept going, and I was expecting her for dinner, and then when her phone was still there at 5 p.m., I knew she wasn't on the road. So at 9 o'clock that night, when it was continuing to ping and not picking up, we called the police to see if we could do a well check on her. And at 11 o'clock, I just said, I'm going.
We couldn't take it anymore.
I'm out.
Yeah. So we jumped in the car, started driving down. We hadn't heard from the police. Again, it was hindsight that we knew that they were having trouble finding the superintendent to get him a key to let him in. We couldn't take it. We just hopped in the car and took off. And this was about 3 in the morning.
Yeah, we're an hour away from Durham, 3 hours down the road, and we got one more to go. And they called us in the car.
Right.
And told us that she had died. She wanted to be the person that people came to when they were hurting, not be the person that was hurting. And she just thought no one would ever understand how she's feeling and that she could handle it alone. And we realized, she can't be alone. And the only way people in her situation are going to know that is if they start listening to other people that feel like her. So we thought, let's share stories. Let's find student athletes out there that have similar stories and get them to talk about it so that maybe someone that listens will go, okay, that's exactly how I feel. I didn't know I wasn't the only one. And so we thought very simply, let's just start a podcast and see who listens. And it's going to be nothing but student athletes sharing stories of their mental health, of their struggles, of their successes, of just their feelings. And it doesn't have to be extreme, leading to suicide. It can just be, anxiety, dealing with depression, something like that. So it was just supposed to be a podcast. And of course, we created a website so that we could highlight the podcast. And very quickly, we heard from numerous athletes saying, I'm not ready to share my story, but I'm going to start talking about this with my friends. And we went, wow, I think we're onto something here. And we started our Morgan's Message education program. And it gives these student athletes a safe place to talk about their mental health without broadcasting it to the world on a podcast. And it has blown up. This education program is all over the country and in Canada. I think we literally just signed our 670th ambassador. We're on 340 campuses. And these kids, they want to talk about this stuff now. So they get together once a month and we provide them with topics, presentations, ideas, or if they have an idea, we can help them formulate it. And it's peer-to-peer, which is huge. It's so important. They just basically acknowledge the fact that mental health is important before a game and that Morgan's Message is an organization that wants to encourage that on all campuses among all student athletes.
I've been to 1,000 collegiate events. I've never seen such prominence now of bringing mental health into the forefront.
The treatment of physical and mental health in the world of athletics is very disproportionate. Our goal is to change that. Ultimately, our goal is so that mental health is viewed exactly as important as physical health.